Hello everybody, it is Calxiyn here. Thank you to Huntsman Tier, Patron Edwin, and Academy Professor Jackson Buchanan for supporting us on Patreon. So we're gonna talk about this theory. This theory is that Salem was originally Summer Rose, and I know that sounds crazy. I saw this on the Amino, but it didn't have a lot of evidence, so I kind of twisted it and decided to make it my own. So I basically believe that Summer is similar to Ozpin. Ozpin's soul is able to go from one host to the next, so I believe that Salem's Grim soul basically went and possessed Summer Rose, and that's why Summer didn't come back, as Crow puts it. Maybe Salem needed a new host, and so she chose to possess Summer as that host. And maybe it was easy for her, because as we know, the Silver-Eyed Warriors are able to strike down the Grim in a single glance and all that stuff, but I think in some weird way it would actually make sense if the Silver-Eyed Warriors were kind of not hybrids of the Grim, but were somehow connected to the Grim, that had Grim DNA in them, and the Grim would be afraid of them because they were kind of superior versions of the Grim, and maybe that's why they're able to defeat them easier, because Grim usually don't attack their own kind, but you can imagine if they did, they would be very powerful against each other. So I was kind of thinking that maybe Silver Eyes has an element, a Grim element connection, and that would also be why the maidens were harmed so easily, or I guess Cinder, because she is one of the maidens, was harmed so easily by the Grim killing powers of Silver Eyes, because if we think about it, that would make kind of maidens on the bad side and the Silver Eyes Warriors on the good side, somehow, and so it would be interesting if that kind of came into play, but that doesn't really need to be included for this theory to work, because we see that Ozpin did take full control of his previous host before he moved on to Oscar, and so even if the Silver-Eyed thing doesn't even matter at this point, if both of them are able to move souls. I just thought that was a nice little tidbit that I wanted to throw in there. So I was thinking that maybe Salem took complete control of Summer, but why would she use Summer as her next body to possess? And I was thinking that it could have been to get back at Ozpin, because she's a Silver-Eyed Warrior. Maybe that was the best way to kind of dispose of her. Because I know they've dealt with Silver-Eyed Warriors in the past, but maybe that Summer was so powerful that the easiest way to get rid of her was for Salem to actually try to possess her and win over her, and then turn her into the Grim humanoid thing that Salem is. But maybe somewhere, Summer, inside of Salem, does kind of have, like, these vague memories, which is why she wanted RWBY to be brought alive. It doesn't really make sense for RWBY to be brought to her alive. If RWBY is really so dangerous that she harms Cinder in such a way, like, it doesn't, the villain plot here, it doesn't really make sense. And I know it's a trope sometimes that villains always, like, leave the bad guy alive to, like, die or something, or leave the good guy alive to die or something, and then the good guy escapes, and the villain's like, no, how could this happen? Because you should have killed them right away, that's why. But if there is something to justify, I think that it would be that Summer may still have some kind of control in Salem somewhere, like Oscar has control. For now, I'm pretty sure that Ozpin is gonna overtake him eventually if Ozpin decides to, but for the time being, it seems like it could be possible that Summer may still have some say in what's going on, or maybe Summer has totally merged with Salem, but Salem still has Summer's memories, and that is making Summer maybe a little bit empathetic towards RWBY, I guess, and that's why she kind of wants to see her daughter the last time before Salem, like, kills her or whatever's happening. I know that's kind of morbid, but if Summer would think that RWBY's gonna die anyway, then it might as well be kind of, mother-daughter reunion for the last time. And it would also make sense to why Raven is, as far as we know, is Salem's informant. Since he has an informant in Minstrel, we know Raven's playing double agent, it all kind of comes together. Summer would want Raven as her informant because they were good friends in the past. And so, I know it's kind of odd to relate the two, but in Kingdom Hearts something similar happens where a villain, or a hero gets possessed by a villain and still has, memories of his past. And so basically what he tries to do is, tries to replace the two friends that he lost. And so one of his friends was a blue-haired girl who he replaced with a similar blue-haired person, and then the other the other friend is a spiky-haired blonde boy who he replaces with another spiky-haired blonde boy. So maybe Salem is trying to rebuild her team, and having Raven on there is one way to kind of go back in time to a better place. And I can't see how Watts or Hazel look anything like Crow and Ty, but maybe there are more people we don't know about that she is trying to kind of go back to. Or maybe Raven was her favorite, better than her husband. I could see that. Maybe as much as Ozpin is a man of two souls, Salem is one as well. And, yeah, I think that's kind of my theory. Again, we don't have a lot of evidence other than the stuff I kind of said already, but I really like this idea. It's nice from a narrative standpoint. It kind of goes with everything else we've seen in the series so far, with Ozpin taking over Oscar. And yeah, Hunter and I are going to talk about this a little bit.
So, I think that, one day when they were planning the series, they thought to themselves, remember those games? What were those games with the hideous plot? Kingdom Hearts. Okay, yeah, so we should steal
I'm not saying
aspects
they stole it. I'm saying that
from the hideous plot.
I'm saying that I like that narrative. The possessed person trying to replace things that they've lost in their subconscious,
I like the idea of maybe if Ozpin is the Wizard of Oz and he's sort of that job is transferred like the Doctor from Doctor Who, because I can make pointless references as well.
Great.
That's not just your job. Then maybe it could be similar for Salem, that the Wicked Witch also
is able to
pass on. So
well, that's
maybe
interesting, because in Wicked, something kind of similar happened.
If it's not fucking Sailor Moon, it's Wicked.
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon. Sorry, we were talking about Salem, and for some reason
You meant Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yes.
So
I have Sailor. Really, I think this is. I just rather be thinking about Sailor Moon.
Basically, in Wicked, it is implied that Elphaba regenerates as her granddaughter Rain. And so I know that, as far as we know, Salem and Summer aren't at all related, but I think that's interesting as far as the regeneration goes, because we know that there has been a lot of regeneration in the Wicked series. Again, Elphaba regenerates as Rain. Ozma disguises herself as Tip, which is a boy, and then I guess Ozma died and then regenerated as Tip, or she just went into hiding and kind of was Tip and then she wasn't Tip. Anyway, that I should do just a video on Wicked theories, but it's interesting that we're talking about Salem, I guess, regenerating similar to Ozpin, because as far as I know in the original Wizard of Oz books, is that Ozpin's power was transferred to Ozma/Tip, and the wizard wasn't a villain in that one, and so that's why, like, Ozma was supposed to be the wizard's successor with the wizard's power. In Wicked, it doesn't exactly go that way. The wizard is trying to kill Ozma, but in both stories you see regeneration with Ozpin and then with Elphaba-Salem. And so I think that element is interesting, because we've seen a lot of Wicked-related things in the series already. I mean, I don't know if they read the books. We don't have that information, but it seems like they're staying somewhat true to the source material, as far as definitely the Wizard of Oz goes, with the regeneration of the wizard to Tip sort of thing, right?
I'm sorry, I was thinking about Sailor Moon. You have a love for convoluted plots, Cal.
I know, I do, but that's okay. And do you have any other thoughts, or have I convinced you? Do you like this? Like,
she is the one, Sailor Moon.
Stop. Answer my question.
Well, I'm pretty sure they also said that, like Miles O'Carey or Monty or someone said that
Summer is confirmed dead.
Summer is confirmed
I mean,
dead.
she would be dead.
So hypothetically, you could be like, yeah, she's confirmed she's dead, but she's also not, so maybe.
I mean, she would be dead,
There's
right? If Salem took over her body, she would be dead, but Salem would have the memories of Summer. Summer doesn't technically exist anymore. It's just the memories might still be within Salem, and that, I mean, what makes a person, though, Hunter? Is it their memory? I know that's really deep for now.
Okay, so I think there may be more purchase in Salem being the one who kills summer.
I mean, we kind of
and
know
then
that
Crow.
for a fact.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
I mean,
Cal, you think
you gotta put plot
the voice,
points together.
the voices in your head tell you that summer. No, but maybe that's why Crow was out searching for Salem.
Oh, because he wants Summer back.
Or because Salem killed Summer. I think there's more purchase in that, really. I mean,
well,
at this point, I just have hope
I get that.
I have hope that they won't make it as ridiculous as I know you want them to.
I want them to so bad. Anyway, no, I understand what you're saying though about like, because I think that Summer being killed by them is something that's almost inevitable. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of, we're already seeing signs that that happened, and so if that does happen, I feel like that's already considered fact is what I mean.
Not really, but
because they said they dealt with silver-eyed warriors before, and that's the only other person we know with silver eyes, right, is Summer. So it makes sense when you put it together, but I want to set that aside so we can look at more fun theories. You know what I mean?
Speaking of silver eyes, literally every time there's a new character, she panics because they're silver! But then it turns out, oh wait, no.
They're just light blue, or they're gray, or they're I don't know what
shading, or a billion other fucking things, and you don't actually know what silver looks like, but I digress.
I can't see the difference between silver and gray, like I just don't understand. Oh! There's one more piece of theory that I forgot to bring up, is that in her concept art, Salem had actual silver eyes.
Oh.
That her concept art was released,
You're right.
and her eyes were silver, and so that is more evidence to back this up.
That something
is that
along
maybe
these lines.
pre full joining of their body, I guess? Like, you know how Ozpin is still able to talk to Oscar right now? Like, pre-combining of their souls, maybe her eyes took that silver shape, and then they went back to red after Salem fully started to control Summer. And that's why in their concept art they were silver, because maybe they wanted to hint at that. But then they changed them to red to make it look less obvious, and also because it wouldn't make sense if...
I really hope that a Rooster Teeth concept artist is watching this and are just like, we just didn't
know what eyes color she was gonna have yet.
We just didn't get to what we thought it was gonna be purple, or maybe we're gonna go with red. We went with red. At the point there, we just kind of left it gray.
Gray because we didn't know what to put in it? Oh boy. Well, if this video gets copyrighted, then somebody will have to watch it, and they'll be like, either, oh god, they're on to us, or, no.
Or this woman's insane.
Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe if you did, and comment below if you want to talk about this with us. And thank you again to Huntsman Tier patron Edwin, as well as Academy Professor Jackson Buchanan for supporting us on Patreon. Anyway, guys, we will see you later. Bye-bye!